Today is day 20 of my 100x and 100-day journey, and we are feeling very good. We're locked in. This is the thing. I kind of feel like the past week I have been on a 1-to-1 ratio of I have a full tank of gas, and I use my entire tank of gas in order to produce the deliverables I'm supposed to for that day. And this has caused me to somewhat be a little bit in a state of FOMO, maybe a frustration, feeling like I am behind or I'm not on top of my shit. But in the grand scheme of things, if I zoom out, if I zone out, I'm actually in a really good position. I got work. Things are still tight. Right now, what I'm getting paid is not quite enough to pay the bills right now. But we'll just have to see. Because it was an off-the-cuff contract gig. Depending on how my performance is, things are negotiable. And also I can accept more contract work. So we're just going to take it a day at a time and optimize for a positive state, because more synchronicities happen in a positive state. Things are aligned when you're in a more positive state. And I actually, to be very honest with you, I've been catching myself unconsciously, my headspace going to maybe imaginary conversations or interactions or thought loops that are not advantageous for me and my psychological state. So I don't know if that's a result of the recent circumstances. I think that part of it has to do with, being in situations for so long that I kind of had no other choice but to be in those situations just because it was the most convenient thing, even though they were kind of toxic. So maybe you can relate to me, maybe you can't, but it's becoming clearer and clearer that any and all relationships I have in my life that pose any sort of negativity, negative return on investment, or are not actively contributing towards my growth, my joy, my happiness, my peace, it's why? Why would I have that? Why would I continue investing energy into that relationship? It makes zero sense. It makes no sense. And you know what? Yeah, that's just where I'm at. And I generally and genuinely do not believe that anybody's entitled to anybody's energy. And I think that the beautiful part about a healthy relationship is that it can end. That's what makes a relationship worth being in, is that there is risk. Relationships can end. And if you are in a relationship that you do not believe can end, honestly, you're the toxic person in that relationship. You are. That doesn't mean that there isn't loyalty. That there doesn't mean that there isn't the intention for that relationship to be upheld and be maintained. But there is an implication, if you believe that relationship cannot end, there is an implication that you believe that no matter what you do, the relationship is going to stay, the person's going to stay in the relationship. So fuck that. That's what I say. No, this is there's relationships are mutual. They go both ways, and they're very, very dependent on communication. So learn how to be a good communicator, and you're gonna have healthy relationships. That's what I'm gonna say right now. But we're in 100x in 100 days. So why am I talking about this? I'm not really sure. Other than these are parts of the process. 100x in 100 days. I am staying in the game. I'm doing what I need to do to stay in the game. Okay? And that means like on all facets, psychologically, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physiologically. There's a lot of variables, okay? And whew. I mean, whoa, you know? So, that's that. I'm going to leave you with maybe a little bit of like what the game plan is. I got a little bit ahead. I feel like I have a little bit of traction where I'm like, okay, I know I'm all over the place. Bear with me. Early in the video, I said I'm at a 1-to-1 ratio where I'm using my full tank of gas to produce the deliverables for that day. The objective here is to get to a place to where one full day's worth of work can produce maybe 7 days of deliverables. That way I can have more bandwidth to produce more results and more deliverables, work more contracts, and make sure that I have enough time and energy to continue growing and building and working on my own business, my own startup, my own application. You know, it's tricky navigating. I don't know if I should lock in and stack my bread for a couple months and then come back to it, or if I should attempt to do both. I think it's within the realm of possibility to do both, because I'm doing consumer, like growth for consumer. So why can't I not, like, we're still figuring it out. We're getting oriented. We're kind of like gaining our bearings with everything that's going down. And you just have to have patience. You got to have grace. You know, you're not going to get it all figured out in one day. And regardless of what people expect from you, regardless of what you expect from yourself, that's just frankly unrealistic. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. Other people could say it's you know what? That it's cope, but you know what? For me, this is the way that I'm going to do it. And I have faith. I have trust in the process, you know? I want to stay true to me. I want to stay authentic and aligned with where I feel called to walk, and I want to make sure that I'm not, you know, I want to make sure that I feel good. Like, that's really important to me, like that I feel good, I have peace. And so I'm going to let you go right there. That's a little bit of context. That's a little solid update for today. Cultivate, innovate, elevate. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.